deal with the Brad Pitt-sized elephant in the room. All right, let's just talk about that first, okay, and get that out of the way. So then the rest of you who are here for that can, you know, go to Naruto or whatever. Many years ago, in a land called 2005, I wrote a book called World War Z. And it was optioned by a man named Mr. Brad Pitt. And then 7 years later, a movie came out, which had the exact same title. Now, of course, the question that everyone asks me is, what did you think? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you have a nervous breakdown? The question is, yes. to all of them. I think I went through every single emotion. But the truth is, when I went to go see it, I didn't see the premiere in London, the big premiere. I actually went to the one right here, Times Square. Yeah. And I expected to hate it. And I kind of wanted to hate it. Because, you know, I'm the book author. That's kind of in the job description. Like, you know, those of you who don't know, when you become a published author, you have to all stand in the circle, and the fire lights up, and you take a blood oath. You know, when you sign over the movie rights, you have to go through a procession. It's like Klingon paint sticks. So you sit down, you have to recite the Stephen King oath. So I thought, yeah, I was going to hate it. And I had all my snarky comments already afterwards. I was going to sit here with you guys and be like, you see that Johnny Suede movie? Yeah. And the truth is, I didn't hate it. In fact, I didn't mind. And you know why? Because it had nothing to do with my book. I actually had a decent time. I sat there and I watched like a really interesting, sort of exciting summer blockbuster movie that had a very familiar title. I had no emotional connection. You see, it's one thing like if I were to watch my characters be murdered by a movie, and that happens a lot of authors, where the movie gets it close, but just enough to torture the writer. You know, like Stephen King, he's watching The Shining, he's like, oh my God, there are my characters. There's the Overlook Hotel. Kubrick, what have you done? See, I never had that. Like, I never had my, hey, Jerry Lane would never say that moment, because I didn't invent Jerry Lane. As far as I'm concerned, Jerry Lane can say and do whatever he wants. I didn't make him up. I had no emotional ownership to this movie I was watching. It was like a really sort of fun, like 28 Days Later on steroids. And in fact, the only character from the book that made it into the movie was my Israeli intelligence expert, which they actually kind of nailed. So I was like, all right, we got that right. And in fact, and this is like killing me to admit it, there was actually one moment in the movie which wasn't in the book, but I wish was in the book. Who's seen the movie? All right. For those of you who haven't, I'm totally going to spoil one moment for you. There's a character in the movie who's never handled a gun, and he's holding a pistol, and Brad says like, hey, you know, take your finger off the trigger, which this is what you do. You're supposed to do that. And he doesn't, and then the creatures attack him, and he turns and he runs, and he like falls on the gun and goes off and kills himself. I totally would have written that. Because that is exactly in my philosophy about real life. And, you know, things that are not necessarily cool and sexy, but could get you killed. That's totally the kind of stuff I do. So that's pretty much what happened. I saw the movie. I went to the party afterwards. Mr. Pitt came up to me and he said, so did you cringe? And I thought, wow, he's honest. Like, he gets it. He gets my position. He gets where I'm at. So I said to him, you know what? In all honesty, of course I did, but I'm the book author. It's my job. I said, but you know, if I were anybody else but me, I probably wouldn't cringe. I'd probably really like it. And he was okay with that, and I was okay with him. So we sort of had we met in no man's land. So that's sort of where we are with the movie. I think for those of you who haven't seen it, if you can just see it as a summer blockbuster, that's it, then I think you probably would really enjoy it. If you're expecting the book, whoa boy. So that's where we are. The movie came out, it made, oh my God. I can't even imagine that kind of money. I mean, yeah, and it keeps going. So good for them. They made the movie they wanted to make, and I wrote the book I wanted to write. And that actually sort of kept me sane, was the fact that I had my book. And I will say the man who helped to remind me of that was a man named Frank Darabont.